Hey guys, I got a problem. I don't have any work and it is late in the week and I want to get a video out, but I need something to make a video on. So looking around and hey, I got this 2018 Sportage. It has a recall because, you know, I catch it on fire. So, you know, let's do this. Let's do this recall. It's recall SC249D because the trailer hitch, something in the trailer hitch gets junk in it and it causes it to, the control module to catch on fire. You know, they even tell you, you know, it can happen while you're driving down the road or while the vehicle's parked. Matter of fact, I think the letter on these things even said, don't park your vehicle in your garage, because if your car catches on fire in your garage, your house might burn down. So, you know, if you have one of these, you know, park it out on the street and make sure it's not, you know, under a tree. You know, or if you got a real long driveway, park it at the end of the driveway. You know, get her done. You know, so we don't have a fire. So, yeah, let's get into this and see what it entails, and hopefully we don't catch on fire. Oh no. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to look at this vehicle and see if it has a tow hitch, and it sure does. It's got a tow hitch here. Here's the harness. It's a 4-pin harness, and that's what we're looking for. Is it a KIA tow hitch? And yeah, it is. I looked at it, and actually we could look in the VIS, and which I did, and it is a tow hitch that was installed in port. So it's a port installed tow hitch, and they have two types of tow hitches. One that they call plug and play, and the other one they call wire to battery. And this is the big one. It's a wire to battery, and I could tell because the first thing you need to do is check the fuse, and they have you open the fuse box on the plug and play and check right here and see, you know, what where your tow hitch fuse is. And then you got to change it from, I think it was like a 30 amp fuse to a 15 amp. But this one is a wire to battery, not the plug and play. So what we need to do is look down here, and we have a fuse, inline fuse. This is this wire going to power right there, and we need to check this and make sure that it is a 15 amp fuse. Let me see if I can get this off, and sure enough, there's a 15 amp fuse in there. So that is what we need. So once you do that, then you have to replace the hitch harness and controller and everything. So supposedly the controller gets dirt and moisture and stuff in it, and it can cause it to short out and cause a fire. And I don't know why. I mean, from what I could tell, the controller is inside the vehicle. It's got harnesses and stuff going on. You'll see. We're going to take all that stuff out of there. And the first thing we need to do is get this thing open. Hello. Is it unlocked? Maybe I can hit the open the door button. There it is. It's got the auto magical door, and we need to take all this trim out here. All this stuff, this needs to all come out, because we need to get back in here. So this has to come out, this has to come out. They want you to pull this whole trim. I'm going to see if I can just kind of peel this back so I can get in there. I believe that's how I've done it before. And so let me start taking this apart, and let's see what we find. this is what we're looking at down in here. This is the controller. So it looks fine. It's not wet, dirty, nothing like that. This is the original harness that used to go down into that hole right there. And this is where all this stuff is gonna hook up. Let's see, I got this harness right here that is coming across here. So, and that's going up under there. And I believe this is a ground. So the ground is right here. They just routed it underneath there, so I don't have to take this trim off. I gotta get this jack out of the way. So this is the ground for it. And of course everything else is under here. So let me get this thing up in the air and start taking apart the stuff down there. Okay, let's get this cover off. There's a couple of clips here. Get out of there. Some cobwebs, some harnesses. So this, okay, let's look at this. We got this harness right here connecting to a factory harness, and then this one going up that way. So we need to take that tail lamp out up there. So we're gonna have to bring it back down. Then we got this. This is the harness that goes all the way up to the front of the vehicle that has that fuse in it. And so that's gonna have to be pulled out. That's nice. This, of course, is your main harness that's going over here to this flat 4-pin connector. That's gonna have to come out. And it's just zip tied up here, so we're gonna have to cut a bunch of zip ties. But let's look at the new harness. Let's look at the new harness and see what that entails. Does it have the harness that goes all the way up there, or what? So let's look at that. All right, let's get into this box and see what we got. It's just a bunch of wiring. Of course, there's your 4-pin connector and new controller. So there's the new controller. Here's the plug, so where it's going to come in the vehicle. This one wire is the ground right there. Let's unravel that. This is the one in question. So we got this wire coming out. This is the one that was plugged into the factory harness. This goes off. Oh, so this is the one that's going to go up to the tail lamp. We need to pull that tail lamp out, and then that's, of course, that's your 4-pin. And then this is the one that I was questioning about, and it looks like it has this connector. So somewhere along the lines of this thing, it's coming out this way. It's going over the top of this subframe. It's zip tied to a brake line there. Zip line tied, it's stuck in that. So we need to pull those out. Goes along the brake lines here, and it goes up underneath this. And then I think then it's routed. Yeah, it's routed right here. So
I have to pull this panel off. Hopefully that's where that thing is, that connector is. Hopefully that connector's up in here. So I'll take this panel off and see what we can see. So this is the connector that we were looking for. So that's cool. We don't have to run this wire all the way up to the battery. But we do have some zip ties. So I'll take this diagonal cutter, that's what KIA calls it, and just start cutting zip ties out. And of course we're gonna have to put all these zip ties back. That box did come with a bunch of zip ties in it. That's underneath that clip right there, or over top of it rather. Pull that out. What else we got? It's running right here. And there is a zip tie right there. Let's see if I can cut it without hurting it. Of course it doesn't matter. I have the thing unplugged. The battery is still connected. What the heck is this doing? Why can't I get it on there? Hello? Okay, so I'm not worried about cutting the wire by accident. We ain't using it anymore. And pull this out. There it is. So that's that piece. This piece right here connected to the factory wiring. That one's out. This one, let's cut some zip ties somewhere. There's a zip tie way up in there. I can't even see it. I'll try and pull that one. That's the one. Well, let me see if I could. No, I don't want to mess up this harness. Okay. Oh, it just broke. That's cool. I don't have to worry too much about that. This is coming really close to this frame up here. Okay, so I'll get that out, get that over top of the exhaust, and everything's loose down here except for that wire that's going way up in there. So let's get this thing down and get that tail lamp off up there. This is how you take this tail lamp out. There's these little areas where you can kind of put a screwdriver in and pop it out, hopefully without breaking it. And that came out pretty easy. They don't always come out that easy, but yeah, that's it. And of course we got a couple Phillips head screws right here. So if you're going to change a bulb on one of these, this is how you're going to do it, because you don't need to take all this off. You're not going to get to the bulb anyway. And then let me set these screws aside. Just grab it and just start pulling it straight back, and hopefully it'll come loose. Come on, get out of there. I may need a little bit of persuasion. Let me get some persuasion. Okay, so without breaking it, come on, get out of there, don't break. Easy, easy, faster, but slower, but easier. Come on. Okay. That was easy.
So here is the wire. So this right here is the original harness that would go to your bulb. This is the harness for the trailer hitch. So what I'm going to do is I got this, where did it go? I got this fish wire. And this isn't the wire I was looking for. This is an original fish wire for doing stuff like this. They call it a fish wire. You can stick a wire through a panel, you know, move it around till it comes out in the area that you want, you know, so you're just like fishing for the hole, you know, and then you stick your harness onto this and then you pull it through, you know. So what I'm going to do, push this little thing out. I'm going to hook this right there, clamp it back down, and that way I'm going to pull this thing through. Just shove it down there right now. I'm going to pull it through on the bottom, and this wire will stay in here, and then I can hook up the new wire down below and pull this up. That way I don't have to try and, you know, do this the hard way and run that wire up there. Of course, if I was going to do it like that, I'd probably use this fish wire. This is not the wire I was looking for, but I mean, this is what it's for. So the wire I was looking for, if you have an old alternator or starter or something sitting around the house, you know, and it wasn't, you didn't have to turn it in or whatever, it's just old, it's no good, you could take that alternator, that starter, or whatever apart, and it's got windings in there, and the windings are copper wire. That copper wire, it's the best. So you just cut it, just unwind a bunch of wire. There's tons of it in there. Just unwind a bunch of wire that you need, and just have it. And you can use that. You can wrap it around wiring harnesses. You can pull the stuff through. And the good thing about the copper wire is it can bend a lot. You can bend it many, many times. It won't break. So yeah, that's what I was looking for. I used to have some, but you know, just like everything else around here, but it's just you lend it out to somebody and it never comes back. So now I got this thing hanging out right here. I lift the thing back up and pull that through. Hopefully it comes through and I don't have to keep putting the vehicle down and up and down and up. So let's do that. All right, this is the wire. Oh, wait, oh come on, you gotta be kidding me. It's stuck. Let me try and deal with this. Oh, can I even see in there? Maybe. Hang on. Just a little bit of manipulation, maybe. That's not gonna work, and I know y'all can't see a thing, so let me deal with this and then I'll bring it back. Okay, there it is. Good luck getting that thing back in, but I do have the fish wire right here, so make sure that doesn't go in there. All right, here's our wire. Take this off of here. Make sure I don't pull this fish wire out, because that would make it useless. All right, so now we got all this wiring here, and I did get this thing out here. That was a little bit of a fight, and then around that pole right there where it meets the body, it's really tight right there. So now we have all the wiring. We just need to push it up through there. We're gonna go up on top, pull it through. Then we need to deal with the ground up there, and then we'll start putting the new harness in. All right, here is this. Oh, we need to cut some zip ties here. So, see if we can get this jack out of here. I don't know if somebody put it really, really tight. No, that ain't gonna fit in there. Come on, get out of there. What do I have? I have this needle nose pliers. Yeah, I can turn that in there. Turn this down. Pull it out. There's the ground right there. And get this screw out right there. Set that aside. Pull this through. Get this off. Because we got a ground that's going to go right there in the same spot. And this, cut these. What happened to my diagonal cutters? Let me find them. All right, and we're just going to cut a bunch of zip ties here. We got one more over here. Okay. Then I got this pretty much loose. What is this? Okay, so this is a harness from the factory. Disconnect that. Now all of this is pulled out of there. Get out of there. Come on. And then, of course, this one right here. And there we go. Okay, that's the fire harness. All right, here is the new one. It's pretty much the same thing, only this is a new improved module right here. So we are going to pretty much reverse what we just did. And get all of this pushed down into here. Just start shoving wire down in there. This is that long one. Come on, get in there. It's the 4-prong. This is the one for the, it goes up to the tail lamp assembly. What else? Okay, and that is it. Here is a piece that's going to connect to our factory harness. Oh, that's how I can get in here better. And that's the wrong way. Okay, let me just get this into place. Module. Let's get all this other stuff done first. Let's run our ground over here. Now, why does it seem shorter? Oh no, it's just raveled up right here. Tighten this down right here first. I need to hold that thing. Okay. just gonna shove this under here, kind of the way that it was before. Where's that? Let's see. Oops. Pull this out. Shove it underneath there without messing it up. Get it over on this side, and you know what? Why? Oh, why? We have to do things the hard way. Just take this screw out right here, lift the thing up, and shove it in there. Just shove it in there, get in there. Okay, well, you get the picture. I'll get that in there. I'll get these zip ties put on, and then we will go back down below and then get all that harness hooked up. And we got to get this fish wire right here hooked up so we can pull that harness up. That's probably going to be the hardest part, routing that wire up to the front. I didn't get a fish wire in there, but we can do that. That's no problem. So let me get this put together, and we'll get it up and see where we are. All right, here is our new harness. This connects to the factory wiring, so I'm gonna plug that in up there. And what else we got here? So this one goes to our fish wire. So let me hook that in. Sometimes it's better to hook it around the back of the connector. So rather than hooking it through this loop right here, I'm going to hook it to the back of this connector right there, just because sometimes it makes it easier to pull it through. Not that it's easy, but it's better than, you know, no matter what, I would have to, you know, run a fish wire down there, either that or take the bumper off. So I'm just gonna set that right there for now. And I got, okay, this wire right here, that's our 4-prong. So I'm gonna need to run this over the top of the exhaust right here. But I'm gonna run it, let's see how it's gonna loop around, yeah, like that. So this is the hitch, or the, where the hitch is. So I'm looping it around that so that it comes up over, and I need to zip tie it way up in there. But so I need to give it some slack. And this one doesn't have the cover. I need to find the cover. Where's the cover? The cover from the old one. Why doesn't it have a cover on it? So I'll pull this cover off. So yeah, it should have a cover on it. So I'll stick that cover on the new one. Push this up in here. Like that, just like the old one was. Shove it up in there. It's supposed to pop in. I probably need to pull it with a pair of pliers or something. The cover comes around like that. So
There it is. There's a little notch in it to hold it into place right there. So we'll be testing this when we're done. I need to get a zip tie up into there. Move this thing around. This is going to be underneath that cover, so we'll probably zip tie this back. And this is this is going to go up on top of this. Let's run this through. Out of everything mechanical on the suspension that can pinch it, pull it through, run it back over, run it back over here, and it's going to go over that, go over all this right here. Make sure it reaches. Okay, and we'll plug it in right there when we're ready, because you know the battery's still hooked up. So I don't want to plug this in till we're done. We'll do that one last. So let's do the easy part. Let's get to this fish wire and try and pull that thing up. That's going to be a fight, and no matter what, it's going to be a fight. So let's see what happens. Come on. It's right there. I've been fighting with this thing for a while. I finally got it. Finally got it through. Whew. Yeah, this fish wire it's an actual fish wire. It's got that little loop with a spring on it like that, and on both ends. And I mean, it's made for doing accessories. That's where I got it. I got it through some kind of accessory kit some while back. And it definitely comes in handy. It is impossible to do this stuff without a fish wire. And I mean, if you don't have a fish wire, you could use a rope or something. Of course, it's a lot easier if you have something that you know will stay straight when you want it to. Something that you can push along, where you can't really push a rope. You can pull a rope, but you can't push it. But yeah, it's definitely a lifesaver. It's not the easiest, but it's a lot easier than not using it. So let's get this thing put together. Okay, we are going to plug this back in. This is the harness that would normally go on to the tail lamp assembly here, but what we're going to do is plug this harness into this one, get it the right direction, and then this harness will plug into here. Shove that harness back in there. Make sure it's not in the way. Get this clip back into place. Hopefully I'm not squishing the harness. Shove that back down in there. Make sure it lines up. Come on, get in there. It's got these tabs. Has this one right here, has one right there. They go into these areas on the body, so those have to go in. So if you're taking one of these off,
Make sure those are lined up, and it pulls in, pops right in. That's what was holding it before. It's keeping it from coming apart. Why I needed to use a little bit of persuasion. Put these screws back into place. And get the cover back on. Something like that. There it is. Done. So that's that part. We need to get into here. Make sure all this is right. So I'm gonna push this grommet down. Sometimes these grommets are easier to get in if you pull them from the other side rather than push them. So let me see if I can get it in. Sometimes you try and push it too much and then they just push right through. Okay, so that's in. Here's a little sticky pad right here that they don't do much, actually. That's where this thing is supposed to stick, right there. And let's hold this thing open. Yes. Plug this in. Come on, get in there. Is it even going in the right way? No. This needs to turn around. Plug it in there. Click it in. There it is. Stick that on the sticky pad where it doesn't stick anymore. And I need to get some zip ties. Well, I got these zip tied up. I got everything zip tied up here. I got the jack back in. I have the ground on. I got this thing run. I need to cut these off. So, but before I put all this together, I am going to, I need to go finish running that cable down below and get it plugged into power, and then we're going to test this. I'm going to test this and make sure it works. And then if it works, everything works, then we're going to put all this back together. So let's get going. All right, I got that thing plugged in. I got this zip tied all the way up through there, the same way it was before. Through these clips onto that brake line right up there. Routed all to here. I got this thing plugged in. I got it zip tied up there. Around here, zip tied here. Trying hopefully keep this away from this exhaust. Although I don't think this exhaust gets really that hot, but that's the way they say to route it. So before we put all this stuff back together and this panel on and everything, I need to get it down and let's test that wire. Make sure that the lights work, you know, because just they're supposed to work. So let's check it out. Okay, I got the vehicle running and I'm just gonna check this out real quick. So, you know, we usually have a special tool that just plugs in right here, and then you can hit the lights and you can see what works and what doesn't. But of course, like everything around here, you know, it just disappears. So it's probably in somebody's toolbox. So this is the ground right here. I'm gonna hook up ground right here. I'm gonna check this. I should not have any power on any of these. All right, I do have the vehicle running. Turn the headlight on. We got our tail lights working, both sides, and we should have power right here. Yep, power there, nothing there, nothing there. We're going to turn the headlight off. Left turn signal, make sure we don't have any hyper blinking, and no, this is working. So no power there. We should have blinking right there. No blinking there. Okay. Next one. Right side. Make sure we don't have any hyper flash. And we should have no power there. No power there. Blinking right there. There we go. Now, turn this off. I'm gonna use this to push the brake pedal down, just like that. So our brakes are on. We should have no power there. We should have power there. We do. We should have power here. And we do. Okay. What else? What if we got the brake light on and we got the right turn signal on? So we should have power here. Yes, we do. And we should have blinking right here. There it is. And no power there. That's the tail lamps. So yeah, it's all working right. So let me just get all this put back together, and we'll be good to go. Okay, we got this cover put on here. The wiring harness is routed right there. Routed all along there. In here. It's out of the way. Goes right here, goes right in through there. Get this harness here, that's where they tell us to put it. Zip tied there, coming out here. Okay, I got all this put together. Close this thing down. And that is pretty much it. This campaign, this recall is for the 2016 through 23. It's multiple models. Basically the let me see, it's UMA, MQ4A, MQ4P, HEV, QL. QL is the Sportage, this Sportage right here. The UMA, the MQ4A, MQ4P, HEV, those are Sorentos. So it's 2016 all the way through 23. So not the video that you were expecting. By the way, I'm going to put this information in the description box below so you can go check it out, see if your vehicle is in it. I know that it's, you know, maybe it's not the video that you wanted or was expecting, but you know, as you know, I'm limited to whatever comes in the front door. This is almost mid-December. It's a slow time of year for shops and technicians, so I need to do something, and this is important. I mean, can you imagine, you know, your babies are sleeping in the room above the garage catches on fire because the vehicle in the garage catches on fire. If you have this campaign open on your vehicle, get her done. I mean, get the vehicle away from your house, you know, for God's sake, please stay safe. Yeah, this is, it's no, you know, matter to, you know, just laugh about or whatever. It is very serious. Cars catching on fire, people can get hurt, people can get killed. I've never seen one. I've never seen one of these burn, you know, but if they got a campaign on it, then it happened somewhere, sometime, you know. Hopefully everybody's all right. But if, like I said, I'll put the information in the description box below. And check it out, you know, see if your vehicle has it. And if you're not sure, I mean, go to your local Kia dealer and check it out. The first thing you need to do is look on and see if you have a tow hitch. If you don't have a tow hitch, then you don't have it, you know. But even those that don't have tow hitches, usually there's an open campaign and the technician just looks down there and sees, hey, there's no tow hitch, everything's good. Some of them are just inspections, some of them are replacing the fuse, some of them are replacing part of the harness in the back, and this one was the big one, which we replaced everything. So get her done and be safe. And I appreciate you for watching, and I appreciate the heck out of each and every one of you. I will see you in the next one.